what the weather is going to be like around here. I do get really anxious during storms.
That's why they chose HailGuard. When performance leads, confidence follows. Backed by the first and only asphalt shingle system with a hail warranty.
That just gives us more peace of mind.
This is the only asphalt product on the market that has the manufacturer warranty targeting the hail damage, and it gives me a lot of confidence as a contractor.
Engineered for enhanced impact performance. Built to protect homes and reputations. HailGuard shingles. Built for hail.
Hey everybody, it is Monday afternoon. It is coming up on 2 o'clock. We're about 11 minutes ahead of that. I am Matt Meister. You are on Peaks to Plains weather, whether you are on Roku, Fire TV, whether you are in the Peaks to Plains weather app, watching on peakstoplainsweather.com, whether you're watching on social media or YouTube. Thanks for being here with us. We will be here for a good chunk of the afternoon as it is a day of severe weather across southern Colorado. Severe thunderstorm coverage is brought to you by Tamco Building Products and their HailGuard shingles beyond Class 4. I am going to start off here with a look across Colorado Springs from Broadmoor's Cloud Camp. You can see the base of a thunderstorm that has developed over Colorado Springs here in the last little bit. It is the first of a number of storms that are going to be with us through the balance of the afternoon. A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for southern Colorado and for the Palmer Divide, parts of east central and northeastern Colorado until 9 o'clock this evening. It does include Colorado Springs. It does include Pueblo. Monument is included in this. Walsenburg, you are not included in this. Trinidad, you are included in this. All of the yellow shaded areas that you see. Over the last couple of hours, where we thought would be the case, storms have developed across the Palmer Divide. And as I'm looking at things here early in the afternoon, I've pulled the likelihood of severe weather farther west than what we were showing this morning and last night. And part of the reason for that is how moisture is pushing up into the higher terrain here this afternoon. So again, we've already got thunderstorms occurring out there. So it's, not a big surprise to say that. But you see how dew points are running higher along the Arkansas River here than they are in the Pikes Peak region. As storms move off to the southeast and into this area of higher moisture, they are going to encounter additional fuel for storms. And so over the next couple of hours, these storms moving toward the river are going to strengthen, and they are going to get stronger, and they are going to continue to organize. So here's what we sort of have going right now. This is a computer model that has a real close idea to what is happening here across El Paso County, across Elbert County, across Teller County early this morning. And so I've got confidence in what it's doing for the balance of the afternoon. Everything is going to roll off to the southeast here as we head into the early part of the evening. We'll also see some storms come out of northeastern Colorado. Here's the biggest risk today. It's hail. When you have flow out of the west-northwest where the airplanes fly, we call that the steering flow level, and you have southeast wind at the surface, it's a classic hail pattern for eastern Colorado. I was talking about this last week for today and for tomorrow, and it looks like Wednesday is going to be kind of the same situation. As the storms move into the environment where there's more fuel, they will be more likely to start to rotate as well and perhaps become some supercell thunderstorms. So here's what I want you to know. For the rest of the day, where storms are moving southeast, these storms will have the potential to produce some hail between 1 and 2 inches in diameter as a generality. There may be a storm that, gets a little bit stronger than that. But it is storms that are moving sort of to the south or more to the right of southeast that we will want to watch in particular through the afternoon, because those are the storms that could have some hail larger than 2 inches in diameter and perhaps be the storms that have potential to produce tornadoes. So right now we've got a storm over Divide. We've got a storm over the north side of the Colorado Springs metro area, and we have a storm off to the southeast of Kiowa that is moving towards Simla. These storms are not severe right now. They're producing some small hail. They're producing some moderate rain. They are producing some lightning. But if you look at how they've been moving over the last 30 minutes, you can see that they are starting to show that movement kind of off to the east-southeast, and it'll become more southeast here with time. So in Colorado Springs right now, let's show you where the storm is. It's up on the north end, right where Powers Boulevard kind of, comes into Highway 83 up on the north side of town, and it's just to the north here of Research, and kind of moving to the east of Voyager Parkway right now. So you can see that the core of that cell, that where we are getting some maybe half-inch size hail at this point, is approaching Powers Boulevard. So areas off to the southeast are going to see this storm move your way here over the next 30 to 60 minutes. So the east side of town on the Powers Corridor, eventually towards Cimarron Hills and Highway 94, this storm will be moving your way. They're going to move to the southeast today at about 25 miles per hour. And so as they do that, that gets Banning Lewis Ranch in the vicinity of the storm here, coming up in about 15 minutes or so. Falcon, the storm probably stays off to your south a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on it, at least the heaviest part of the storm, and we'll keep watching that one. Let's talk about the storm that is up across Elbert County. This storm off to the southeast of Kiowa has weakened a little bit. It is right now off to the southeast of Kiowa by about 8 miles. It is also moving to the southeast, so that's going to take it toward the Highway 24 corridor here over the next 30 to 60 minutes as well, and that's going to bring it toward Rama and towards Simla. So we'll keep an eye on you guys. So we're giving you about a 20 to 30 or 40 minute heads up in terms of how fast this storm will be to your area. We'll also keep an eye on this storm moving out of Teller County that is sitting right on Highway 24 between Woodland Park and Divide. This one, as it moves over Pikes Peak, if it can hang together, may end up moving toward the west side of the Colorado Springs area, Ute Pass, Green Mountain Falls, Cascade, Chipeta Park, Manitou, maybe the Skyway neighborhood in Colorado Springs. And so again, that would be over the next hour. So we just want to give you a heads up here that eventually everybody off to the southeast will be in the path of these storms because they're going to roll this direction here through the back part of the day. If we see one start doing more of this, that will be one of the stronger storms and one of the ones that we will watch. So, not only today do we have the threat for severe weather, as we look at the next couple of days, we've got the threat for severe weather as well. So if you miss out on a storm today, if they miss your neighborhood, you'll have a chance the next couple of afternoons and probably even Thursday as well, as the pattern doesn't change much the next couple of days. One of the things that we will watch is where outflow boundaries and where the moisture pools associated with those are each morning. That's going to highlight areas that have the higher risk of thunderstorms developing and kind of becoming strong and severe each day. So it's a little bit of a futile effort to drill down into the details on Wednesday right now, because what happens tomorrow will impact Wednesday, and what happens today is going to impact tomorrow. So make sure you're checking back here with Peaks to Plains over the next couple of days. As we move over the next few hours, I want to let you know that you have the opportunity to come on here if you are in an area that gets some hail, maybe some inch or inch and a half hail, and you want to show that to people that are in the path of the storm. Once the storm has moved past, or if you are outside and you grab some hail, you come inside, you can use one of these links and come on the Peaks to Plains weather coverage and be part of it. We always have these links for you. Peaks to Plains weather's our weather together. This is how we do that. So it's vmix.at. Both of the links have that. And then there's zmSjK with the S and K capitalized, and 1RJSL1 and the J and S are capitalized. And you put those into a browser. You give the camera and the microphone permission, and then you'll pop up into my production software and I can pull you up on the show. We have a couple storm chasers that are out and about today that are getting into position right now that we may share with you later on today. And Mary is going to be here with us as well. She and I were just doing a debrief about where things sit today, and she is getting a little snack, and then she'll be with us as storms start turning severe here, probably within the next hour or so. If you're just joining us, a severe thunderstorm watch is up for southern Colorado until 9 o'clock this evening. It does include Colorado Springs, Pueblo, Trinidad, La Junta, Lamar, Kim, Baca County in the southeastern corner of the state. Elbert County is included in this, so Elizabeth, Kiowa, even though the storms are off to your southeast already. Lincoln County is included in this, so Pumpkin Center, Genoa, Hugo, Kit Carson County, Cheyenne County, Kiowa County are all included in this as well, and it's active for everybody until 9 o'clock this evening. So here's a visual representation of where the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect, and like I said, that is up until 9 o'clock tonight. One of the ways that we look at severe weather potential is to look at what I call paintballs. And I'm going to show you that here. I showed you this morning, if you saw one of the forecasts I did, or if you saw the live morning with Meister that we do every Monday through Friday morning at 6:30. And I want to pull that up now and walk you through it because it's a pretty useful tool and kind of shows, opens the door a little bit to the forecast process and kind of walks you through what we look at behind the scenes to analyze where severe storms may be. So let me kind of get you to where we are right now. You'll see 3 different computers show up on this map. One of them is represented in white, one is represented in blue, and one is pink. Each of those colors represents where the individual model thinks that a strong thunderstorm will be at that time. And you can see that one of them in particular is right on the timing. It's the blue model here. The other ones are a little bit slow in when they were developing storms. But notice how you see pink and you see white and blue up across the Pikes Peak region. They all had the right idea there on where storms would develop. Now, the model that's in pink, which is the graph model, doesn't have any storms today over the Front Range and over the cities, whereas one of the other models, the HER in particular, does, and the NAM model, if you're somebody that likes poking around and looking at models, has those up against the cities, and it looks like that's a better forecast given what is happening out there right now. So over the next couple of hours, here's what you need to know. If you're out and about, if you're going to have a practice, if you're going to do a run, if you're out working in the yard, out in the field, if it is dark off to your north or northwest, storms are coming your way. They are going to roll off to the southeast. So that's a visual clue that you can use here to identify if a storm is coming toward you. You can also hop into the Peaks to Plains weather app, and you can use the weather map tool. I'm going to show you right now, while we're all hanging out here together, how you can do that. So let me pull that up, and I'll just take you right into my app on my phone here, and I'll show you that. Let me get it set up. And then let me get into the app here, and we'll just walk through that together. And I will also show you something that you can do to customize this tool in a way that makes sense for you. So here is my phone, and I'm going to hop into the Peaks to Plains weather app. Okay, here we are. So here's a notification about the live coverage that I'm doing right now, some of the other information that we have pushed out through the day today. At the bottom, if you go to the weather map and you have your location turned on, like I do, shows a blue dot of where I am. So I can zoom in, I can see where the storms are, and I can hit the play button and see over the last 2 hours how things have changed. You also see recent lightning strikes on there because that's what I have turned on. You can customize this in the bottom right-hand corner where the little hamburger menu is. You can go down here, actually at the bottom, where the plus is. You can decide to turn on different features in the app. You can turn on radar. You can turn on storm tracks. You can turn on lightning. You can turn on the thunderstorm alerts. And then I can save that map, and I'm just going to call this example, since I have different, example 1, since I have different things saved in my app. But all of the things that I just turned on are now available for me, and next time I come into the app, those are going to be there for me, and I called it example 1. If I want to go to maybe clouds and radar, I can see the satellite and radar. If I want to look at model data into the future, I have that saved as well. And then you can move this forward with time, and you can watch where the storms are going to go. So again, there is a lot of customization in this system, and you can see how the forecast over the next couple of hours, like I showed you, shows the storm strengthening as they move toward the Arkansas River. Now, here's the other thing that you can do. Coming back to the homepage on the app. If you click on the short-term forecast at the bottom or the days ahead forecast, and you have your location turned on at the top, and I know that I have mine turned on because I have that little arrow that you see there, it's for your specific location. But maybe you have something, like maybe I have something in Lamar tomorrow. I can search Lamar, Colorado, and then all of the information in my app is focused on Lamar. So I'm getting the forecast for tomorrow for Lamar, for the next few hours. The radar is going to focus on Lamar. So there's my blue dot. It moved. So this is a highly customizable tool. The other thing I want to let you know, up in the top right-hand corner where those 3 lines are, you can go into the settings, and in there you can turn off or on which types of alerts you want the audio messages to come with. So if I go to notification sounds at the bottom there, I have mine turned on currently. And then if I go to weather notification types and I go to severe, I can leave it turned on for a severe thunderstorm warning. Maybe for a severe thunderstorm watch, I don't want the audio alert to that. I just want to see it pop up on my screen. And maybe I want the same thing for a tornado watch. So you have complete customization of this. Mary and I worked really, really hard to make sure that you can have this set up in a way that is best for you, but you got to get in there, click around, use the buttons. Don't be afraid to break anything. You're not going to break anything. Okay? So I just wanted to let you know that because we have worked really, really hard on that tool. All right, let's go back to what I was talking about a little bit ago, and I'm going to pull the radar up here and show you where the storms are for now because they are being well behaved for the time being. But as I've told you, that is going to change. So before we wrap up this go-round here, you can see there's a line of storms, and that one coming out of the northeast side of Colorado Springs has strengthened. So it is moving out of Wolf Ranch now, out of Cordera, kind of sitting right along Powers Boulevard and just to the east toward Black Forest Road. And you can see that we do have some pretty intense echo there on radar. We're getting up to around 60 dBz. That's decibels. That's how loud or how intense the radar signals coming back to the radar. And that's one of the ways that we analyze the strength of these storms. So this storm right now is getting a little bit more likely to be producing some hail around 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Again, it's rolling off kind of to the southeast, a little bit more east than southeast right now. So as it's strengthened a little bit, it is making a little bit of a run toward Falcon. And so Falcon, you should prepare for the arrival of this storm over the next 15 to 20 minutes as it moves your direction. Let me put up a different query here. So you can see Woodman Valley Chapel out on Woodman Road. The storm will be moving your way at about 2:13, so that's coming up here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And the Fit and Fun Park that's out there as well is in the path of this storm, as is Falcon. And so the speed right now is a little bit slower than the 25 miles per hour that I think we'll end up with here later on today. But the computer is trying to sort of hone in on the centroid of this storm right now. And as it gets a little bit stronger here, it will start to track it a little bit better. So I would say it's kind of moving sort of to the east-southeast here, eventually moving toward Ellicott over the next hour or so. So those of us along and east of Powers Boulevard and north of Highway 94 on the east side of Colorado Springs, this storm is moving your way. Again, not severe as of yet. It's getting a little bit closer. You can see the intensity with that cell is picking up a little bit. And if I put the echo tops on here, we're only seeing it run about 35,000 feet right now. So between 30 and 35,000 feet. And that tells us that there's a 38,000 feet. So it has been growing a little bit. We start getting that up above 40,000 feet. We see it get to 45,000 feet. I think a severe thunderstorm warning won't be too far away at that point. And you can watch the storm growing here. I'll show it to you over the last hour. You'll notice how the height of these cells kind of keeps popping up above 30,000 feet. So you can see that one across Teller County that's now moving down Highway 24. That's one of the higher storms. That kind of is another way for us to see where the updrafts of these systems are as they move off to the southeast. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We'll keep watching everything here. Hail with this storm thus far across the north side of Colorado Springs has for the most part below half an inch, but I think that's starting to change as we're moving it toward Banning Lewis Ranch, toward Woodman Road here. There's a new development that's going on out there. I think it's called Percheron on the north side of the road. It's right over that development right now, and Mark Shuffle Road here. And so you guys, getting the sort of hardest, most intense part of the weather that is out there right now. And again, this is going to keep moving kind of off to the southeast. So we're starting to see some of the hail with this get picked up here by the computer. It's all been pretty small. Some of these grays are under half inch or so in diameter. And, but it is strengthening right now. And so over the next little bit, we may see, this storm become more capable of producing some hail a little bit larger than it has been up to this point. So those of you that are in the path of this storm, I would stay inside until it moves past. We're getting a little bit of a broken line to develop here. So you can see these multiple cells that have formed as we've pushed the low-level moisture into the southern slopes of the Palmer Divide and up against Pikes Peak. So there's about 6 or 7 individual cells now. There are 2 of them that are a little bit stronger than all of the other ones, and you can easily see where those are. You don't need me to circle them for you, but I will. These are the 2 that we'll watch, because 1 or 2 of these things is going to jump out as the sort of dominant updraft, and see some of these weaker ones probably collapse as that happens. So that will occur here over the next 30 to 45 minutes as well, as these storms are sucking on some pretty good air, is what we call it. You can see the dew points off to the southeast of where the storms are right now are higher than what the environment that the storms formed in. So our broken line is kind of sitting right here, and it's going to move off to the southeast through the remainder of the afternoon, which is about what we forecasted. And so hopefully you're ready for it. Hopefully you are prepared. And if severe weather comes your way, hopefully you know what to do to stay safe. So let's take the opportunity right here and talk about the difference between a severe thunderstorm watch, which we have right now, which means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather. You should be prepared. Like, what do we do at work, or what do we do at home if we are under a severe thunderstorm warning, or if we are under a tornado warning? The watch, like I told you, is in effect through 9 o'clock. So it's issued in advance of the severe weather. A severe thunderstorm warning is something different. And that means that there is a storm out there that is or is in any moment going to produce severe weather, and you should take action. Most of the time for a severe thunderstorm warning, the easiest thing to do is just be in a building, away from windows, and you're going to be all good. If you're in a car, don't get out of the car. Car's a pretty safe place. If you get struck by lightning, it acts as a Faraday cage. It's just pay attention, take some action. Don't send the kids outside if you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. That is not something that you want to do. So just a good idea, good opportunity here to be reminded of that. Again, these storms moving into an environment that has more energy for them to grow. So over the next hour, we'll watch for that. We will probably get our first severe thunderstorm warning of the day here in the next little bit with one of these storms that is rolling off of the Palmer Divide. And so again, you can see this broken line of storms. There is a severe thunderstorm up across southwestern portions of Nebraska now off to the east of Cheyenne, Wyoming. But a new scan coming in here on the radar. And you can see that storm over the northeast side of Colorado Springs is weakened a little bit on the newest scan. It is still moving toward Woodman Road and Black Forest Road. Heading toward Falcon here, Woodman Hills, Meridian Ranch. You guys are all about to get that thing. And then these couple cells that we are watching here off to the east of Kiowa and to the north of Highway 24. So Rama, Simla, Matheson, Agate, you guys are all going to get these storms here. It's the northernmost storm out across Elbert County that is the strongest one right now. That one is off to the west of Lyman by 14 miles or so, and that one will continue to roll off to the southeast. So that's where we're at right now. Let me see if any of you have questions here this afternoon. Michelle says it was raining at Powers and Stetson Hills. She posted that 5 minutes ago. Peterson and North Carefree Springs Ranch, Misty is putting in a request for some rain. So Misty will be probably getting some where you are right now. Hard rain at El Pomar Park on the south side of Colorado Springs. Isaac is letting us know about that. And Amy says, Amy Lathan, many of you probably familiar with her, she says we need rain everywhere. And she's saying she has land in the mountains in Fremont County and the drought is devastating and that trees are dying rapidly. There is some good news, Amy, later on this week. I do think we have a better chance of storms for more areas in the mountains by the time we hit Thursday and Friday. The next couple of days, we're just going to watch, kind of like what we're seeing here in Teller County this afternoon, is these eastern areas maybe being the formation zone for some storms here the next couple of afternoons. But you get too far west of there, the chance of anything other than a sprinkle is pretty dang low. One of the issues that we do have and a concern that we have later on this week when we get thunderstorms over the mountain areas is that even though we're getting rain, the lightning is occurring in some very, very deep drought, in particular over the central part of the state. So even though we'll be watching for some rain and some of the storms later in the week, Thursday and Friday in particular over the mountains will put down some good rain, we're going to have our, kind of feelers up for the potential for some fire starts as well. Race is letting us know that it's starting to sprinkle in the Manitou area right now. Race, thanks for letting us know about that. And so we'll just keep an eye on the storms here. And as they get a little bit stronger, we'll pop back in when we see one that could have the potential to produce some severe weather. Again, it's going to be for hail is going to be the biggest threat with these things. You can't also rule out some of these storms as they get a little bit stronger in the next couple of hours, seeing some wind gusts between 40 and 60 miles per hour. And then as approach the Arkansas River, they have deeper moisture to use. If they're moving more south, we'll keep an eye out on those for the potential to perhaps produce a tornado. It is not a zero threat today, and so it's something that Mary and I will be aware of. So we'll take a little break for now. Just know in the southern part of El Paso County, here come the storms. The southeastern corner of Elbert County, they're heading our way. Lincoln County, we are going to be under the gun as well. There is a little cell off to the northwest of Cripple Creek that's right on the Park and Teller County line. If that can hold together, it'll move toward Cripple Creek. Everything being well behaved at the time. You can track the storms yourself in the Peaks to Plains weather app. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you should. You should keep your location turned on, like I said, so Mary and I can give you a digital shoulder tap if something squirrely is coming your way. So we'll take a break here. We'll reset as needed. We'll check in with our storm chasers, see where they are setting up here. It's going to be a busy next few hours. You are on Peaks to Plains weather. Our weather together. This severe thunderstorm coverage is sponsored by Tamco Building Products and their Hail Guard shingles beyond Class 4. I will be back with you here coming up in just a little bit, so don't go anywhere. Stay close through the afternoon. We'll get through these storms together. Peaks to Plains weather. Our weather.
Emergencies are unpredictable, but you don't have to be unprepared. Peak Alerts sends you targeted emergency alerts in real time for the places that matter to you most, so you know what's happening and what to do next. Know first, act fast. That's the power of Peak Alerts.